This is AustinSchindel, the Xfinity Sports Guy, on location here in Nashville, Tennessee, for the Thursday night football game between the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're lucky enough to have Neil Coulong of Behind the Steel Curtain with us today. Neil, thanks for connecting with me.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, first off, it's a short week for the Steelers. They played the Eagles last week. What are the keys to victory playing on such a short week?
I think with the short week, you really have to look at what the team was able to do in their last game. And it was a particularly physical game. I like to think with that the Steelers were able to dominate the Eagles up front. The recovery time, though, among your offensive and defensive lines is probably going to be a little bit longer than your skill position players will. So in that regard, I would think the Steelers would be able to come out and throw the ball successfully in this game. But in a typical Todd Haley offense, they're going to establish the run, but however it is, they want to maintain possession of the ball. So whether that's the pass or the run, I think you'll see the offense probably try to be more athletic in this game. You're going to see probably a few more deeper routes than you have in the past. And the fatigue factor will probably be more apparent in the second half, but the Steelers are going to try to come out and show they're the fresher team and the more athletic team.
Absolutely. So I was at Steelers training camp in August, and the team looked very good. How do you think they're comparing right now to their preseason expectations?
The first thing to look at, I would say, would be the fact they're 2-2 means they're not meeting the expectations I would imagine they set at the beginning of the year. But as far as their commitment to the run goes, they certainly have done that. Their carries have been up quite a bit in comparison to last season. And more than anything, time of possession, I think, has been the key through the first 4 games this season. That was obviously a goal of Todd Haley's coming into the season. And in that regard, on the offensive side of the ball, I think they're doing what they wanted to do from the start. Defensively, they really made an emphasis in training camp on turnovers, on takeaways, and they, to this, really aren't getting those. So I would say, offense is probably on track, and the defense needs to pick it up as far as making plays, sacks, interceptions, fumble recoveries, things of that nature. They're not quite on the pace they'd want to be with that yet.
Mm-hmm. So you were talking about the running game and how it needs to improve and how it has been improving. With Rashard Mendenhall back, what does that mean for both the Steelers' offense and run game and also fantasy owners?
I think fantasy owners should definitely be excited about it. I mean, if you saw him last week, I mean, he doesn't look exactly 100%, but if he's not 100% and he ran the way that he did, he's going to have a good season. The real question with him, though, and what I would warn fantasy owners about going into it, is the amount of carries that he's going to get. He's not 100% yet, coming off of ACL surgery in January. He's probably going to be on something of a pitch count. He's only going to get 14, 16 carries a game, I would imagine, maybe 2 or 3 receptions. Not going to be a big production guy in that sense, but he is a guy that can come in like he showed last week and get you 100 total yards and a touchdown in a good game. So in that regard, it's definitely good. It's even better for the Steelers' offense. You had a guy that ran with balance, with vision, looked considerably better than the guys the Steelers were running the first 3 games of the season. So he's a great football player. He's going to have a great year, provided he can stay healthy and the team can get him into a rhythm the way that they did last week.
So I'm going to be at the game tonight in Tennessee. Palomalu's out, Mar Woodley's out. Who is the Steelers player on defense that I should be looking for to make big plays in this game?
I think you got to ride the hot hand. Lawrence Timmons had a great game last week. I think 9 total tackles, a forced fumble. He was making plays the way that Steelers fans have been hoping that he would since he was drafted in 2007. He's definitely a guy to watch with kind of a beleaguered Titans running game. Running back Chris Johnson doesn't hit the hole particularly hard, or at least hasn't this season. That's going to give Timmons the ability to be able to read the play and attack him in the backfield. I think he's going to have a good game again. Outside of him, you always got to look at James Harrison. He's a guy to watch if you want to see somebody in the trenches really play aggressive physical football. He's a great player. The playmaking as far as the secondary goes, it hasn't quite been there yet, but this is the type of game that might be able to make a play or two. So Ryan Clark is a guy to watch. Matt Hasselbeck, the Titans quarterback tonight, hasn't thrown particularly well in the limited opportunities he's had this year. So, maybe Clark can get a duck somewhere and make a nice run back.
And finally, need your prediction tonight. Who's going to win? What's the final score?
This has been bugging me all week. I can't get over the nagging feeling that this game is going to be competitive, although the Steelers have several, if not all, of the matchup advantages across the board. Primetime road games are tough for teams to win. The Steelers traditionally, though, have a good record on a short week. I think they're 8-1 under Mike Tomlin on Thursday night. So I'm going to say the Steelers 27, Titans 16.
Well, there you go. Neil Cooling from behind the steel curtain with his insider expert analysis. Thanks, Neil, for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
This is Austin Schindel, the Xfinity Sports Guy, reminding you once again to follow Xfinity Sports for behind the scenes and insider content all season long.